Hello, everybody. Hey, ladies, come on in. Today is Tuesday, and y'all know Tuesday is literally my favorite day of the week. Absolutely love Tuesdays because I get an opportunity to do Bible studies. So I'm just so excited, y'all. Just excited. Always ready for a night of Bible study. So, how are you ladies doing? I hope everybody's doing good. I hope this was a good week so far. I know it's only Tuesday, but I hope y'all had a good weekend and y'all enjoyed your weekend. Um, but I'm excited to be here. So, if you guys are here, let me know. Please like, share this post. This is on my ministry page, so it's not on the group anymore. So if you guys see this, please share it to your live, to your news feed, share it to your group, share it to your friends. Let everybody know that we are going live. And so I'm so excited. Like y'all don't understand. This week were has been extremely crazy for me. I've just had this incredibly long week and I almost did not make it here to you ladies up on tonight. So I did make it though, and I'm thankful that I did. I'm so happy that I did. And it is always a blessing to be with you guys every chance I get to be. So let me see if I can share this video, y'all. So bear with me just a second um, while I try to look up on some things and see if I can share this. So y'all just check in and tell me hello. Let me know how everybody's doing. Like I said, I'm so excited to be here with you ladies. Last week, we decided to just have it in here in our Girl Talk page, so it's not in the group anymore. So if you guys are looking for me, that's where I am. Um, Let me see. Mm-mm-mm. Just always so good to be with you ladies. So hello, how y'all doing? I'm so excited. I got a lot of stuff coming, and hopefully, as it develops, I can begin to announce some of the stuff that I've been waiting for and waiting for and waiting for. Finally coming to pass and being able to see that coming to fruition has just been mind blowing. So, oh, so good, so good, so good. God is so good. Okay, I think maybe I'm on here, y'all. Should I play some music for you guys? I'm so excited about all the engagement I've been getting on this page, y'all. Y'all are thebomb.com. Let's see. There I am. Ugh, I love this. Okay. Let's see here. Mm, I'm so excited. Okay, I found it. Okay. Let's see if I can share this to my page. And then share it to my story. Okay, it works. Let's see. Okay, share to, I don't know. I'm sharing this all over the place. I'm so excited, y'all. Hopefully, okay, let's see. I'm sharing this so everybody can see it because it's probably all over my, I didn't spam my own self, y'all. So bear with me if you see this in my profile a million times. Let's see how we looking. Yeah, there you go. Ah, This is so exciting to see yourself on Facebook after years of not being able to do that. So anyway, um, let's see here, y'all. This is so cool. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna get started. Thank you, ladies. Thank you guys for all tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Tonight, I'm talking about forgiveness. And I know and I realize that forgiveness is kind of a heavy topic, that, life comes in waves and it may not be as um, exciting or as. Can you guys hear me? This is not a glamorous topic, and sometimes it's hard to think about or listen to or even be a part of. But what I really want people to understand about forgiveness is that it is something that we all have to encounter. Like, forgiveness for me is just such a deep topic, but I want people to know that forgiveness absolutely does hold you back from reaching your God-given potential. Unforgiveness, and when we don't forgive each other and we don't go to each other in love, we will end up in a place to where there is stagnation in our growth. And over the years, and through the waves and all the things that have occurred in my life, I've always wanted and always understood the heaviness of unforgiveness. And when you don't have it, it really does stifle who and what you are. And as I was beginning to do these lives and beginning to get into preaching and teaching and being in front of people on platforms, I really thought about lining my life up and practicing what I preached. So I had to search my heart for any anger, any animosity that I might have toward people, any ill will, any disdain, any type of frustration or sadness, or just um, slew of emotions that I may have against people who I may not get along with, or that I've had a situation arise where they have hurt me. And as I was searching my heart and searching my mind, I realized that I did have some unforgiveness in my heart. And I have talked about this topic so many times now. Like, I know that this is new to some, and still I know that I have a long way to go in my journey of reaching the amount of people that I want to reach. But if you see this on rebroadcast and you can't see it live, I want you to know and want you to really dig into who you are as an individual, what you are as an individual, and what can come of you if you do decide to lean on God for help with your unforgiveness. Growing up in my home, my dad was a child abuser and also a woman abuser. And because of that, it created so much unforgiveness in my heart, so much animosity, just all of that that it encompassed because of those things. But I continued to fight. I continued to push and go forward in my life. But as I grew up and as I grew older, I realized my unforgiveness toward my father was holding me back. I realized that it was placing me in a place where I could not go on and I could not do the things that I wanted to do because I had this weight. Unforgiveness is a weight. You carry a weight around. You carry around the weight of someone else's pain. When people hand you pain, you do not have to take it. But I didn't learn that lesson until later in life. I went all the way through my 20s, all the way through my teens, and all the way through my childhood being angry at my father. It wasn't until I realized that I was carrying that pain. My father passed away when I was 17 years old. I was in high school, and yet here I was, 28 years old, holding his pain, holding what he gave me. And I decided to let it go. I decided I had to let go of that unforgiveness. And not only did I decide in that moment that I needed to let go of the unforgiveness that I had in my heart toward my father, but that I didn't ever want to carry around anybody's stuff anymore. So people made me angry. Of course, they crossed me and did things to me after I was 28. I'm now 36. But what I learned in those lessons and in that moment is that I don't want to carry that for my life. I don't want to hold grudges. I don't want to put something on that someone else gave me to carry because it's not mine to carry. It's not my burden. And so it's really helped me, and it's really allowed me to get out and really be who God has called me to be. And for that and because of that, I am able to be the whole and complete person that you see before you today. And of course, I'm not perfect, and yes, I run into trouble and people are mean to me. So I constantly have to practice forgiving people and letting things go. But what I promised myself in the moments when I let go of the pain my father gave me is that I would not heart pain from people or allow pain to change me. Sometimes people hurt you so bad that it changes the course of your life or how you feel, how you interact, your stigmas, everything that you see is forever changed. You're forever damaged. You're forever different from how you were. And as I go through this process of letting go, it is a lifetime of work. Last a couple of weeks ago, we talking about being a positive parent and how childhood wounds damage us. And if this is not a lesson to any of you guys, I want you to understand the damage that you are doing to children and the damage that was done to you will last a lifetime. It will take a lifetime to heal completely. And even in that, you will still find yourself in moments where you have to remind yourself of who and what you are, or who created you. It's so good to be able to feel and be who God wants you to be able to walk in that path and be able to sit in that path. I was looking at Colossians and I did absolutely write it down, y'all. I love this. I love doing what I do. I love helping people. I love being able to reach people on a level where their heart beats, right? I think a lot of times when in my own world, I don't realize the impact that I have on people's lives, and I don't see myself. I made a status just a minute ago that said, I am enough. That was for me more than it was for anyone else. I need to understand who and what I am, not bragging or saying I'm better than anyone, but to understand my worth. And this is not, I don't think that people's strengths or their gifts or the things that God gives them should be a threat to who you are as an individual. When people speak on who they are as women and who they are as men, I don't think we should be offended by who they are. We should clap for them because they are walking into their own. So this is not a jab or a dig or a flex on anyone else. This is just me coming to myself and saying, Nora, you are enough. You are good at what you're doing. You are helping the lost souls in this world. You are doing the Lord's work. You have stood up and fought past all of your insecurities, past your fears, past your tiredness, past all your excuses in order to be here for you guys tonight. It was not easy. It is not easy to overcome and be in a place where you're able to do that. So for me to be here and be able to say the things that I'm saying to you guys tonight, it was a fight. It was a fight, not that I was battling with anyone else. We are our biggest critics. My fight began long before I walked out my door, long before I logged on to Facebook, long before I met any of you guys. I was battling my own insecurities. But I am here today to say that by God's grace and because of his mercies on my life and because of letting go of past pain and trauma, that I am able to stand here today and tell you that God is good and he has a plan for your life. But until you let go of the things that broke you, until you heal the things that wounded you, you will not be able to go to the next level in your life. Do you understand how powerful it is when you let go? That unforgiveness cannot hold you any longer. There is freedom on the other side of forgiving the ones that hurt you. I didn't say take them back in your life and allow them to abuse you again. Forgiveness can be separate households. Forgiveness can result in divorce. Forgiveness can result in separation. and never shopping with them again. There's levels. There is a whole slew of things that I can say on forgiveness, but I don't want anybody to go away from here thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be a doormat because I have to forgive every single little thing and then become a doormat." I can forgive you and let you go, and I can set up boundaries. Boundaries are so incredibly important when you get into forgiving people and letting go of past trauma and pain. And I really do. I have my Bible, y'all. I have my little, every time I get on these things, I get so excited that I forget my Bible sometimes when I jump over here. But today I didn't get it. It just fell, y'all. So bear with me. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we are. Um, so I, um, let me see, where is it? It is in Colossians, y'all. I know ain't nobody been on there forever. Colossians 3 and 13, and I do have my Bible, my Holy Bible. Let's get more and more wrinkled by the weeks. Brooklyn had my Bible, y'all. My baby, who just turned 2 years old, had my Bible the other day, so it is a little bit on the wrinkle side, but it's present. But Colossians 3 and 13 says, "Make allowances for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Remember that the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others." I know that you're thinking that that was too much. What he said to me, what he did to me, what she did to me, what he did to me, what happened to me was too much. I can't let that go. It's way too painful. But I want you guys to understand this forgiveness is absolutely a process. It's something that you have to go through. You can't just wake up one morning and let it all go at once. Even though that there are processes that happen like that, I think as a when we study the human psyche and the way that our mind works, it doesn't always go like that. The healing is a process. And even though you speak the words, "I forgive you," your body may not line up, right? Our actions may not line up with that forgiveness. We may still feel something involuntarily with your emotions, like goosebumps or the dropping of the heart or the automatic disdain when we see this person. And we can't control that. So we may be able to pretend like we've forgiven people, but we really have not forgiven them. And that's what happened to me a lot. I would always pretend, and I think it would pretending or acting like something didn't bother you is a trauma response. Acting as if pain doesn't affect you is also a trauma response. So for me to be able to do that and get into this, it's just been uh enlightening. It's been different. It's been an opportunity for me to face who I am, and in turn be able to have the credibility to come and talk to you guys. So when we're in this and we're deep in the trenches and we're trying to figure out how this happened or where we got to where we are now, it is something that you have to think about. Like, how many times in my life have I said I was sorry and I really didn't mean it? How many times have I allowed a conversation to happen where we thought forgiveness was taking place, and there was no forgiveness? Just because you say, "I accept your apology," does not mean you accepted that person's apology. And I was just thinking on this whole topic, and I was thinking on what God is doing in my life in the area of forgiveness and how much it has affected so much of my life. I experienced a lot of pain early in my life, as a child. And so I carried a lot of that. And I want to go back to letting go because you absolutely 100% have to let go. You cannot continue on in the space that you've been in and think that everything is going to be okay and work itself out. You have to be intentional. You need to get intentional about forgiving people. You need to get intentional about the problems that you buried and not faced. And I'm not saying confrontational, I said intentional. That means you have good intentions toward fixing the problem in your life. You have good intentions toward letting go of the pain that that person may have given you. And so, a lot of times when I think about all the things that have happened to me collectively over my life, I realize that I could look at that as damage, or I can look at that as God going to give me beauty for those ashes. Even though that person tried to break you, you still standing. Even though that situation was meant to sit you back for 10 years, you still made it. Even though what she said to you or what he did to you tore you apart, God can put you back together again. That there is life after you've been harmed, after you've been violated, after you have experienced pain from someone, trauma from someone. You can let that go. And when I think about forgiveness and I think about letting it go and having tough conversations with people who have really, really did damage to my heart, who have really did a number on my soul. And they are all and have all been people that are really incredibly close to me. I think unforgiveness only can take place when you have some type of degree of love, respect, or care for the person. A lot of times, strangers can offend us and strangers can do things to us, and it doesn't affect us as much as if it's someone that you trusted, someone that was supposed to do you right. And when you experience that pain and you find out that, hey, I trusted you, I loved you, I wanted the best from you, and yet you dishonor me this way, it's so painful. You don't know where to start. And forgiving them is literally the last thing on your mind. And it just makes me so happy, y'all, that I'm able to say that I let go. That I no longer will allow a person to hold me in a situation or hold me in the pain that they gave me. People will give you all of their pain, they'll give you all of the damage that someone else has done to them, and they will project that onto you. And you have a choice in that situation. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it was messed up. Yes, you didn't deserve any of the stuff that you did or that happened to you. But if you hold on to it, if you allow it to fester, if you allow it to be productive and produce into your life, it will poison everything that you have going forward. You're never going to be able to move. You're always constantly thinking about it. You're going to let it fuel you. You're going to let it damage you. You're going to let it tear you down. And the very thing that you didn't want to happen is happening. The very thing that you wanted to go away is now you. It's so much I can say on unforgiveness. It's so much I can say on forgiveness and letting go and being able to be in a place where you don't have to experience that kind of pain. And growing up in my life and going through, the things that I've been through in the last few months, the things that I've been through in my life as a child, the things that I've had to sit with and deal with, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. But it's stuff I had to deal with. I had to deal with my family and how my family treated me and how they were not the best for me, and not my immediate family, but I have a big family, and I'm wishing one day that all my family could come together, even the ones that I don't get along with, and we could have a conversation, or that everybody can make amends and reconcile. And I'm not saying I want to be anybody's BFF for the rest of my life, but what I do want for myself at the end of the day is what I want for all of you, and that is reconciliation and clarity and peace. And sometimes you won't always get that, but move forward anyway. Sometimes the people are not sorry, but go forward with your healing anyway. Go forward with all the things that you have in your heart to do. Don't allow people to suck the life out of you because of their actions. You cannot control people. You cannot make a husband faithful. You cannot make your mother love you any more than she does. You cannot make your children act right and fall on you and call you blessed. You cannot control any other person but you. How are you going to react to what they are giving you? You don't have to take it. A lot of people say, okay, this is what they're doing. This is what I'm having to take. This is what I'm taking on. This is what I'm dealing with. Nope, don't deal with it. Don't take it. Don't allow it to kill you. Don't allow it to break you down. Don't allow that. If you choose to stay in a relationship with that person, you're going to have to let that pain go, or realize that they're going to continue to hurt you over and over again, or they're going to change, or you're going to go. And that's point blank, period. People have to understand you cannot control anyone but yourself. And you cannot put yourself in situations that cause you pain and cause people to do stuff, cause people to do things that you know that they're going to do the things to you, and you're going to sit there with that anyway. You got to really think about that. And so as I went on and I go on with this, I really want people to know, what do I want people to know in this moment about unforgiveness? What do I want people to know in these moments about forgiving people? Let it go. Let it go because it's not worth it. Let it go because you need to move on. That at this point, you forgiving people is not even about the other person. Because in actuality, if you don't let it go, they actually win. They actually win the situation that you're trying to deal with. By you holding on to what they gave you, they actually won. Is that what you want for yourself? I don't. I want better for you, Girl Talk Inc. I want better for you. I want you to move on and be a productive citizen. I want you to move on and be the millionaire you wanted to be the incredible mother that you wanted to be a good wife, to be a good friend, to be a successful business owner, to be whatever it is that you need to get to. Don't allow that person to take the life right up out of you. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. When you wallow in unforgiveness and you wallow in pain that people have handed you, you sabotage your own life. And that person is sleeping at night, they dreaming, they've moved on to another man or another woman. Your mom is gone, they've may passed away, and you're still here holding what they gave you. You are still here sitting with that. My dad was gone for 15 years, dead for 15, and we had left him when I was 12. So at that point, I was already at 20, almost 20 years. And sitting here carrying this and allowing this to literally shape my life, allowing what he did to me when I was 10 years old to shape my life at 30 years old. I couldn't do that no more. I don't want to do that. I don't desire to carry with he. I'm giving him back his stuff. And as I was giving him back his stuff, I started to give back all the men who had hurt me too. For all the men that had hurt me throughout my life and made promises and took me on hell dates and tried to get in my pants and just turned out to be horrible guys. My ex boyfriend who left me without any type of explanation or to tell me why he was leaving. All of that. I needed to let go of all of these nasty things or bad things that had happened to me in my life because I could not go on in that space. I didn't want to live in that anymore. You can have your stuff back. Give people back their stuff. Give people back all that baggage, all that pain, that guilt, that insecurity. Give them back what they gave you and move on. And I know that this is Bible study and I'm supposed to be busting out a lot of scriptures. And I do. I just want you guys to remember Colossians. And I can't see everybody's comments, but I know you guys are here. But I really want you guys to think about Colossians 3 and 13. Because it says in the beginning, it says make allowances. That means allow people to be human. The Bible didn't say that. This is my interpretation of what I think it's saying, but allow people to be human. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to mess up. They're not always going to do what you want to do. I heard a message that said, lower your expectations of people. Stop putting people under the same standards that you can't even hold to. You mess up. You do stuff wrong. You are not always the best daughter. You were not always the best mother. You are not always an incredible wife every single day of your life. I mean, you have to understand that you are human as well. So when people do make mistakes and we do get offended by them and we do start feeling a type of way, and I do realize that there are degrees to this and there are levels to this, obviously, and I want to use that as a disclaimer. But what I'm saying is that you have to understand that people are going to mess up. They're not going to be perfect. and you got to be ready to forgive 70 times 70. 70 times 77, I think it was what it says. But you have to understand that if God has grace on you, then you should give allowance for grace for other people. I mean, I know we're in a council culture where everything is about, girl, I got to keep my peace. I got to get my peace. I got to make sure I'm here and this and this and that. I understand that. I get that. I know that. I understand it. I get it. I cut people off too. But I'm not about the council culture. I'm always about a conversation. How about the conversation culture where we talk to people, where we interact? I've seen this meme or this TikTok where they were saying everybody is grown to it's time to have a conversation. And that is so true. Everybody's grown, everybody's got it together until it's time to have an adult conversation or co-parent or do something that's hard. Then you don't want to deal with it. You don't want to talk about it. Well, the fact is that you're going to make mistakes as well. And I understand if something is toxic or abusive or harming you physically, mentally, or emotionally. I get that. I understand that if it's constant. But until you have a conversation with a person, until you say, hey, this is hurting me, I don't like this. Would you change this? Because this is not what I like. This is not productive for our friendship. I can't go on in a friendship with you if this is going to continue. I can't be in a relationship with you if this is the way you're going to treat me. I can't do this with you. I can't do life with you. I can't be in fellowship or relationship with you until you change this behavior, or if you don't change this behavior. And I understand that even that point it won't be perfect, but you have to be making progressive steps toward moving that behavior, right? And so a conversation about pain, a conversation about what's bothering you, and communicating that, I think is just so incredibly important and so incredibly useful. So um, I just love this, and I got a little bit more. I remember y'all just really getting a chance to um, speak on this a couple of last year. I spoke with this with my cousins, and we had a really good conversation about forgiveness, and it was incredibly good, y'all. I just absolutely loved that conversation, and what we were able to talk about and what we were able to accomplish. And I think what we found out a lot about uh, is that unforgiveness and forgiving people is so hard, y'all. It is not an easy thing to do because I think it has a lot to do with your pride. It has a lot to do with pride and being able to cast down things that rise up in you that, hey, I'm right, I was wrong, and she needs to apologize, and I'm not going to do it. And being the bigger person. And I know my whole life I've always been the bigger person, probably literally, but I'm not going to talk about weight and stuff like that. But definitely, I've always had to be the bigger person when it comes to mental or emotional situations where things were out of control, or if harm was done. I would always clean up the mess. And I think I got to this age and I snapped and I'm like, I'm just not forgiving anybody. I'm not letting anything go. But I quickly realized that that was not the way to go either. But will I walk in love? Will me being angry or holding a grudge lead that person to Christ? Will me being disrespectful or mean spirited toward my brothers and sisters lead them to Christ? Absolutely not. The answer was no. It was no on all fronts. But what I did do when I came out of that was set boundaries. I began to put boundaries in place that protected me from those type of situations happening, right? I realized that if I know a person is going to disappoint me or not capable of doing something, say for instance, I'm planning a party and they don't show up with the items. Okay, I don't put that person in charge of items. Then there will be no animosity toward them doing that because I know that that person is not capable of doing that. They're not going to be able to do that, right? Sometimes we get in relationships with people and they do not hold up to our standards or anything that we ask them to do. And you knew that going in, but yet you go in anyway and you break your own heart. And now you're in unforgiveness, you're in anger at that person. And my pastor said one day, if it's a snake and it bites you, why are you mad at the snake? You knew it was a snake when you seen it. And it's so true. What did you expect it to do? You knew it was a snake when you met it and you continued in fellowship with the snake and it bit you. What do you expect? It's a snake. It's going to bite. So you have to understand that when you put yourself in these situations where people harm you, is it your fault? No, it's not. It's not your fault that they hit you, or it's not your fault that they cheated on you. It's not your fault that they lied to you or did anything that they did. But what you have to understand and take responsibility for is the role that you played in knowing better, is the role that you played in breaking your own heart, that you showed up to this, that you signed up for this, that you sit with this, that you allowed that to happen to you. Okay. And I think that at that point you can begin to take power over the situation that you have put your own self in. And that is probably a whole nother conversation. But I had to say what I had to say on that because it is so true that sometimes we break our own hearts. We set our own self up to be in situations where we're angry, we're upset, and we are offended by everything that that person did. But they have gave you every red flag and every indication that they were capable of doing just what they did. And now you butt hurt and you want unforgiveness. So I encourage you to go back, examine what happened, take responsibility, take responsibility and accountability for what the role that you played, only your role, and begin to make a different choice the next time around. And I just want to pray with y'all. I want to pray for people who may have unforgiveness in their heart. And I want to pray for people who may be feeling guilty for hurting others and probably need to go apologize and have a conversation because there's two sides to this coin. I realize that there are people that are offended and there are people that have committed the offense and you still may be carrying pain. So I want to pray for you and I also want to pray for the person that was offended. Can I pray with y'all? Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you right now for this live. And I don't even know how many people are on here or if anybody is even ever going to watch. But what I do know is tonight that I was obedient and that I was here and that I was present. And I want to thank you for each and every one of the people who are hearing my voice right now that are really going to start and be in forgiveness, that are really going to start and be better human beings because they let it go of the pain. God, help them give people back their stuff. Help people help each individual give people back the pain that they gave them because it does not belong to them, God. Don't allow people to destroy them, God. I'm just asking for I'm standing in the gap for each and every one of these broken-hearted folks. For folks that have been mistreated, misused, and who cannot find in their hearts to forgive, God. Nudge them, speak to their heart, God. Let them dream of forgiveness, God. Let them dream of a life of peace, God. Let them walk in that, God. Start that path. Start that up in them, God. Spark something in them that says, I don't want to carry this anymore. This hurt me too bad that I'm going to let this go, God. That they are letting go. They are putting down this pain, putting down the guilt, putting down the shame, putting down the things that have harmed them, God, and letting it go. Not for the other person, but for themselves, God. That they will go on whole and in peace and that their dreams and that their aspirations and that their talents and that their gifts will be fully realized because they let go, God. That they mark this day on their calendar and say, this day you will no longer hold me. That this day I won't allow this pain to stop me anymore. That this day I am letting go of what you gave me, whether it was a father, whether it was their mother, their grandmother, their sister, or their brother, whether it was their own child who hurt them, their own sibling that hurt them, God. Allow them to let that go and let it be. They are your child, God. Watch over them in their process as they begin to heal, God. And those nights that they will cry, and those nights that they are writing, and those nights that they are praying, God. I ask that you be a beacon to them, God. That you'll continue to use me to speak to their hearts, God. This I pray in your most precious name, Jesus. Amen. All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I know it was shorter than normal, but I hope that y'all enjoyed this and that you guys really start to think on forgiveness. That you really start to consider giving them folks back their stuff. It's not yours. It doesn't belong to you. You don't have to carry it anymore. It's time to let go. Just like Frozen. Let it go. All right, y'all. I absolutely love y'all. Y'all are incredible. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram and YouTube and all of those great platforms. I love y'all and I'm looking forward to being back with you guys in a couple of weeks. We won't be here next week, but I will run a video. It'll be something that you've seen before, but I'll be gone the next couple of weeks. But either way, I love you ladies, and I hope you guys go on and have an incredible rest of your weeks. All right. See you next time.